Substance D, Annie Wilkes, and Control Z. I used to be obsessed with A Scanner Darkly by Philip K. Dick. Why? The switch. That psychological pivot. I'm a writer, and stories like that fascinate me. A Scanner Darkly, like most of PKD's work, is messed up. I had to reread Valis multiple times just to feel like I half understood it. Basically, spoilers, it's a beam of light and the guy becomes Jesus. Sort of. But what grabbed me was always the switch. The moment reality unravels. As a writer, I know that just throwing a twist at the end, like a smoke bomb, is bad storytelling. Think Fight Club. You can't just reveal the twist. You have to plant it. The audience needs to rewatch, reread, and point at the screen going, oh! The subconscious hints are what makes a twist land. The ending to A Scanner Darkly is brutal. I won't spoil the whole thing, but okay, spoilers. A guy goes undercover as a narc, gets addicted, his brain melts, and he becomes the very thing he was meant to expose. The heartbreak is in the details. Tiny blue flowers, repeated just enough to sting. That's what gets me. The cruelty isn't loud. It's quiet and devastating. I've made it a rule in my writing. If it matters, repeat it 3 times. That's when it sticks. I couldn't even finish the audiobook the last time I went to reread it. I'd be on the treadmill with Paul Giamatti, the narrator whispering into my ears. It just got too real. Especially because I've seen what crystal meth does to people. I've cleaned out homes of tenants who used it. Not just the mess they made of their homes, but their lives. And A Scanner Darkly hits different when you've lived even a fraction of that reality. I think the drug in the book was called Substance D, also called Slow Death. At the end of the novel, PKD dedicates it to his real-life friends, listing what happened to them. What the drugs did to their bodies. That stuck with me. Now, what if I told you something else? I once asked ChatGPT to grade A Scanner Darkly like an English teacher. It gave it a B+. Misery by Stephen King, A+. Can you believe that? This rant, by the way, is about AI, why I think it's fucking awesome. Years ago, there was a man I admired, fatherly, warm. He handed me a story he'd written and asked for my opinion. I never read it, I was terrified I'd hate it, and I'd have to lie to him. I didn't want to hurt him. That fear, that moment, shaped me. I decided I'd never be that person. The writer with the big hopeful smile asking, did you like it, while someone stares back in dread, trying not to crush me. Here's the thing. You've probably noticed by now I'm obsessed with getting an A. Not just any grade, an A. I won't stop until I get it. I've seen the YouTube tutorials, the so-called writers who type in a prompt, write a horror story, and just accept whatever pops out. They don't reread it, don't obsess, don't dwell. They right-click, copy, and move on to the next step in their content pipeline. Can you imagine that? I won't. I obsess. I rewrite. I push. I need the A. That's why I love ChatGPT. I don't have to subject anyone to the awkwardness, the pressure of asking, what do you think? I just ask, how would you grade this? And if it's not an A, I don't get defensive. I go back. I revise. I learn. I earn the A. But here's the catch. ChatGPT gave PKD a B+, and I keep circling back to that. When I was a kid, misery didn't scare me. I was being raised in an abusive home. Annie felt familiar, but like all good horror, something stuck. I reread it as an adult, and one scene still haunts me. Spoilers again. King's protagonist, Paul Sheldon, writes his magnum opus. He's done with the trashy Misery series. He wants to be taken seriously as a writer now. But Annie, his #1 fan, has read both the new manuscript and the final Misery book where he kills her off. What happens next is even worse. Annie reads the final Misery book, confronts Paul, and then vanishes for days. She's already gotten him hooked on heavy painkillers. He's trapped in bed, helpless, at her mercy. The pain hits, then the withdrawal. And just when he's at his weakest, she drags him down to the basement. There, she forces him to burn his new manuscript, his magnum opus, the only copy, a physical, irreplaceable draft. No email backup, no cloud storage, just flames. Can you imagine that? Whatever's most precious to you, your mother, your partner, gone in flames. That scene gutted me, and it made me realize King earned his A+. But I also realized something else. If I give my work to a friend, someone who loves and believes in me, they'll give me an A+. They want me to succeed. But that false praise would kill my dream. I'm not paying strangers to read my writing. I'm frugal, Scottish Canadian, famous for it. So ChatGPT is a godsend. It doesn't throw confetti. It doesn't, I've gotten B's. Even a C. That's good. That's useful. Back in college, my boyfriend was a computer guy. Hardcore DOS. I had a 486 SW, top of the line, with a math coprocessor. Back then, Windows 3.1 was just a command prompt, ccd winwin.exe. Then Windows 95 came out. It bypassed DOS. My boyfriend at the time hated the OS, rejected it, refused it. He thought it would fail. Another friend, a guy who worked at a computer store, said Windows 95 will change the world. He was right. That's how I feel about AI. Have you seen it? The clips of AI actors? The almost believable ones? I can now get stoned in bed and make politicians say infantile things. I don't need celebrities. The ladder is gone. I can make insane sound effects, use fog filters, create wild, cool stuff, all from my bedroom. I'm having a blast. This is invigorating. Exciting. People keep asking, why is the internet boring now? Is it dead? Is it eating itself alive? The old Ouroboros, the serpent devouring its own tail. But I say no. Absolutely not. There's power here, a never-ending resource. Here's the truth. It's a lot of hard work, it's frustrating, and it's satisfying for about 30 seconds. I burn through prompts, hit next, tweak, retry, submit, and I get a rush, a high, for a moment. Then, I chase the next idea. There are trillions of topics to explore, trillions of ways to make meaning. This isn't the end of creativity, this is the beginning. We are now the actor, the writer, the director, and the audience. We haven't lost the internet. We are the internet. We're already inside the machine. So let's make something beautiful before it swallows us whole. Don't wait for permission. Make something. Post it. Break the internet in the best way.